All right, if you're watching the replay of this, I just had to reset our internet, and so that's what happened. We're gonna wait for people to come back now. Hopefully, we get some people back. Hey, I see people starting to come back. Had to reset the internet just so you're aware, which made our kids very mad because it turned their music off. Kid just won. The other one's asleep, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he's been asleep since last hour.
Is the internet working better? Can you see us a little better? I don't know. We're having internet issues, and so I reset the internet. I'm hoping it's better now. Even after we reset it, I was having some issues. It was like blinking at me and having some difficulty. But hopefully, hey, we're back. Good. Oh, Carl's here this time too. Good. Great. We were just chatting with Goodman and Ryan for a while, and they were having a hard time seeing us. We were kind of skittering here and there, but I completely reset my internet box. I think that was the issue. Um, we've just I don't know. We need better internet is what it comes down to. But yes, we are back now. It's like I feel like I need to just restart over everything we were chatting about. But good to have you all. People. Yeah, that's because they didn't know where we went, and they're like, oh, let's go about our day, and and then it's like, oh, they're back. But yes, headed back now. Hopefully the internet's a little better. Hopefully it stays better, or we might just have a wash for today if the internet's not working, unfortunately. But we'll do what we can. Looks like we're starting to get some more folks back now for that chat. Uh, I did want to show you all my souvenir that I bought.
Someone had to go back upstairs again.
If you could, please. The last live chat that we did, we were talking about the most expensive souvenirs at SeaWorld, of course, and I told you about the most expensive souvenir that I ever purchased, and I wanted to show that to you all. So Amy's going to go get that. So that we can talk about that for a bit as well. Just trying to think of some other things to chat about. There's of course a lot of news in the theme park world, if you will, that we could chat about aside from SeaWorld things. We don't know a whole lot about them. I've just seen them pop up, like the Secret Life of Pets dark ride came to Universal Studios, and I hear that dark ride that dark ride's like better than Disney dark rides. And then I also heard that the Indominus Rex animatronic at the Jurassic World ride is operating and functioning, and that it looks amazing.
The one in Hollywood?
Yes. Yeah, the animatronic, they said it makes it look amazing.
Terrifying.
SeaWorld, as far as SeaWorld news, Amy saw the other day on our local news stations here that SeaWorld rescued a little sea lion that got his head stuck
in a buoy.
In a buoy. He climbed up on the buoy, and there's this little ring, and he stuck his head through the little ring, and it got stuck. So they had to put butter or something or oil on his neck.
Putting oil and something else, and soap, I think,
on
his neck.
Oil and soap on his neck. Free. Finally got him free. So yeah, and different news like that coming on. Of course, if you wanted to try to go buy Disneyland tickets now, we live streamed after we bought Disneyland tickets the other day. If you want to buy them now, you can log on and you can buy tickets right now. Like you don't even have to wait. There's no wait. But all that sort of stuff's going on in the theme park world. Carl asks if I'd recommend eating early or late if the goal is to ride as many rides as possible. Also, do I think Front of the Line will return after June 15th? I don't know about the last one, to be honest. Couldn't tell you what I think about the fast track sort of thing. I do know that my son now, who can read, saw the sign that said, why does that say skip the line? And I was like, what are you reading? What are you talking about? And he saw the sign, skip the line. It's like, yeah, no, you can't do that right now, but sorry.
We keep forgetting that. Like, we know he's learning to read, but we keep forgetting that he knows how to read.
He can read as good as he can.
Yeah, like, he suddenly went from
not reading at all
only reading
to
not reading at all at the beginning of the year, and now he's reading like full on sentences.
So what I would recommend is showing up at 10 o'clock, of course, and a little bit before 10, and then riding right away. You can get electric eel done before like 10:10, and you should be able to ride a lot of those other little rides relatively easily right there in the morning. I would even say if you love electric eel, ride it 2 or 3 times before you move on to the rest of things. Now, if the other people in your family can't ride electric eel, then maybe you don't want to do that to them, constantly having them wait. But yeah,
we always eat around 11, mainly just because that's when our kids start getting hungry. Sometimes we push it to 11:30, but I honestly wouldn't try to eat much later than 11:30 because honestly, that's when everybody else starts deciding they want to eat, and we've noticed that's just when it gets busy. Now, the food festival booths obviously don't even open until noon. If you get there right at noon, you're probably okay. We also noticed try to figure out like where the shows are and what time they're getting out, because as soon as a show gets out,
that's what Goodman just
yeah,
said.
all the little food festival booths near that show suddenly the lines triple.
Definitely try to get in line for anything, shark encounter or whatever, before shows let out. Sorry, our cat's getting into things again. She makes life interesting.
We yell at her more than the kids.
We do yell at her more than the kids. But yeah, if you know that the orca show starts at 1, and most shows last approximately 30 minutes. So sometime around 1:25, the show is going to disperse, and there's going to be a mass exodus out of the amphitheaters. If it's Dolphin Days, which is right next to Shark Encounter, you can bet all those people are hopping straight in line at Shark Encounter or Turtle Reef, and that's just what's going to happen. So plan to definitely work around that. But I would say eat early is just a great recommendation. Eating at 11 when food places first start to open. Now, Shipwreck Reef won't open until 11:30. I did discover that this most recent time.
They close earlier than all
they
the
do.
others.
They close at 5
because we made that mistake. We were like, oh, we're gonna go eat at Shipwreck, and then they were closed.
Yeah.
So, though honestly, the best food is still at
Mama
Stella's and Calypso, if you can get their tacos. That was the other thing we were really annoyed with on Saturday, is we went to go get tacos, and it was like 4:30 in the afternoon. It wasn't even peak dinner time, and they ran out of tacos.
They didn't
tell
me.
It was our last punches, and we could not get tacos.
They didn't tell me I'd have to wait 5 minutes for tacos. They told me they were out. Like, they ran out of the supplies to make them at 4:40, and the park was open till 8 o'clock. So
yeah, we were really disappointed with that because it was our last day of using the food festival punches. And we had to settle for barbecue chicken, which was not very good.
I don't think they anticipated the crowd levels that there were on Saturday.
Because there should not, legally, there should not have even been that many crowds in.
With the reservation system, they shouldn't have been surprised at all, but they didn't have enough food supplies.
Some people were saying when they went between, when you went and when I went, they weren't scanning reservations at all. Mm-hmm. So I think a ton
They didn't scan my reservations.
Yeah, I think a ton of extra people managed to get in at some point under the reservation radar, and they just got overwhelmed. But then people were saying that happened on Sunday too. So that's why we were encouraging anybody on the Facebook page to please go direct Facebook message SeaWorld, because we're hoping if they get enough people who complained about the exact same issues we were noticing this past weekend, that they'll hopefully crack down on it more.
Here are the things that I'd like SeaWorld to improve upon. I'd like SeaWorld to, first of all, get more parking attendants, because in the past, pre-COVID, of course, they have, now the way that their parking booths are set up, there are these 2 buildings, and there's one in the back and there's one in the front. And it's so that a worker can be in either one, and one operates one side of the lane and the other one operates the other side of the lane. Currently, they only have one worker in just one of those booths operating both sides. So cars pull up on the outsides like this, and the worker attends this car, and then after that car pulls through, they can then go back and attend this car. Another car pulls up, and it's just really, really slow. And the workers weren't really moving very fast. They weren't acting like there's a line out to the street and they need to quickly get cars through. They were just kind of casually moving at a bit of a snail's pace, and I think that was attributing to long lines at the parking. Now, even after you got in the parking, though, there were still lines to get through the temperature check. So, I mean, maybe it didn't really make much of a difference.
It made much difference
but
because the line for that was so long.
But it did feel like if at least you were parked and you were in that line, you'd feel a little bit better, and they wouldn't have cars going out on the street, which I think would be a big concern.
Yeah, because there were cars honking. Like they were trying to drive by because we were all the way out past like onto SeaWorld Drive. But I mean, the other issue was just they really, I think, need to do almost what the zoo does, where if you don't have a reservation, you're not getting in, and the reservation, kind of like Disney and the zoo, the reservation guarantees you get a spot in regardless of when you show up. And they're obviously not doing that. The other thing is, one of the people on the Facebook page said they were talking to someone in the parking lot that was from out of state, and they had just gone. So they obviously weren't even cracking down on the whole.
The zoo scans your reservation. They scan every reservation. So if we have 5 people, they want to scan all 5 reservations.
It takes time, but it's more efficient.
And at least we know that they are caring about reservations. Ryan brought up the social distancing again, so I'm going to assume you didn't hear either of our previous conversation because of our bad internet. But we're up to 8 people here on the live chat today, which means that the internet must be working a lot better than it was a little bit ago. So we'll go over that again. When we were at Orca Encounter, I felt really bad for the workers there, because the worker was saying from the stage, please everyone remain seated, stay in your seats, and we'll
come and dismiss you.
An ambassador will come with a flag and they'll dismiss you, and please. So that happens. And people were just up and walking out and ignoring them. And she kept saying it over and over again. Please remain in your seats. Please remain in your seats.
We saw people who got up, went up a path, took apart like one of those little rope things that was across an aisle, drop it down, and instead of reconnecting it behind them, because we weren't supposed to even leave at that aisle, they just left it down. So then other people started following them out of that. It's like, you guys are being very disrespectful. Like, we felt bad for the workers because
we really did. It was kind of frustrating to, of course, watch that. But yeah, and Ryan says he experienced the same thing. People after Sea Lions Live actually listened. That's great to hear. Maybe it's an Orca Encounter thing. I don't know. But
I feel like it's because that stadium is so big.
It is.
People are just like, well, I want to get out first.
It is a huge stadium.
And it was all the soak zone area, so maybe they were just really wet and cold, and that's why they wanted to get out. Because honestly, there was one section that he didn't see it, but there was one whale in the last 10 seconds of the show that it hit so hard that I noticed the water sprayed out of the soak zone even.
Oh, really?
It hit the very, very back row of the bottom.
I didn't notice
and
that.
So I felt bad because it was oops. Even the whole bottom section is gonna get wet. So it's possible maybe those people were just very wet and cold and grumpy, but still,
Ryan also brought up before in the previous chat while we were having internet issues that with the easing of COVID restrictions, that it felt like a lot of people were just choosing to say, oh, well, things are getting better. Now I no longer have to obey any rules.
A lot of people have the mentality of, if they have been vaccinated at this point, they have the mentality of, oh, well, I'm vaccinated, I don't have to follow the rules. It's like, that's still not the case. It's like, if that was true, then we wouldn't have to follow the rules. But we're still following the rules.
There were just so many people that I saw not even wearing masks. Oops, that's my bowl there. Not even they didn't even have it around their chin while they were drinking something. They literally there were no masks anywhere. They weren't even holding them. And I told SeaWorld about this too. I watched several of their workers walk right by people and not even say anything. Especially one lady didn't have a mask on in the ride, and the worker came by to check and make sure the seatbelt was securely fastened, and she didn't say anything to the lady.
Putting a mask.
She did. The lady put one on a little while later before the ride actually started, but the SeaWorld employee didn't say anything, which I was kind of concerned about, that they didn't say anything. And Okay, I understand and I feel for the people because the last thing I'd want to do is tell someone, "Hey, put your mask up," because you know what's going to happen. People are going to gripe and they're going to complain, and then you feel like the bad guy. And I don't like confrontation either. I would avoid it too. I would try to not like if I were them, I would feel bad telling people to put their masks on. So I understand. I do. It's just it's difficult. It really is. When you're trying to obey and other people aren't, and I don't know, it just we've seen so many rules get added at places like Disney because of just one person. Anytime Disney announces a brand new rule, um, you have to ask the question, what did somebody do to make this rule be a thing? Like, for instance, Disney recently announced, and we're going to have to struggle with, not struggle, but it's going to be a different change from the last time we went to Walt Disney World in September. Now, when you get to your dining reservations, you can't just take your mask off. You have to wait until your drinks arrive. And then once you're done eating your food, you have to put your mask back on. You can't just sit at the table. And we think the reason for that policy is because people are using the dining tables as a mask-free zone, and they're just sitting there for like an hour after their
getting
meal
together with friends and sitting there for like 2 hours mask free.
Meanwhile, they need to have more people come in and sit down. So they made this policy that if you're not actively eating, you need to wear your mask at Disney. And so now we think that it's mainly to encourage people that once their food is done, for them just to leave, without the workers having to go around and say, "Hey, get out." Now, that would work at Skipper Canteen because Skipper Canteen is the Jungle Cruise, the dining place where they're like, "Okay, see ya." No, seriously, get out. Get out of my boat. On that dock now. That sort of a thing. But let's catch up on some of these comments here. Diana says, hi, Diana. What do you recommend? What time do you recommend to get there?
Before opening.
Yes.
Don't do what I did.
I got there at 9:40 for SeaWorld on Saturday and got in 10 minutes. Amy got there at 11:15.
It took me almost 2 hours to get in.
Ryan, the other guy here that's been chatting, he got in there at 10:25 and had about an hour wait as well. So
I had almost a 2-hour wait.
It's crazy how long it's been taking, but get there early, definitely as early as you can. Park opens at 10. Park opens at 10. I got in line at 9:45, and they were already letting people through the line.
Check the park hours in case they change, because we're not planning on going back for at least probably a month now, just because of our trip coming up. So the park hours could always change. So make sure to check the park hours probably the day before you go and get there before they open.
Yep. Ryan mentioned the selfie stick incident in California Adventure that banned selfie sticks. Fun fact, though, so selfie sticks are just including the extendable type things. You can still take in like iPhone holders. Like I have a stick that I set my iPhone in, and it's not quite a stabilizer. I used to have a stabilizer. I think it got stolen or something at my work. I don't know. It just disappeared. Or it's in storage somewhere. I have no idea. But I lost it and can't find it. And it was really expensive, and I didn't want to pay for another one. So I just got a $20 handheld thing on Amazon. It doesn't have the gizmos and the motion sensor that a stabilizer does, but gimbals and those sorts of things are still allowed at places like Disney. You just can't take the extendable poles. But that is a fun little fact there. Jen says, I had the Seven Seas Food Festival pass from last year before the pandemic shut down. Will they give me a full refund or a new food pass?
Sort of.
They will refund you for everything except for the punches you've already used. So
it's not like they have, I think it's like $4. I think it's like a $4 rate per punch or something. They had some number per punch per like what you hadn't used. So like in our case, we had only used 3. So I don't remember how much I think we got back.
They gave us $60.
$60 back. So it was like, and they gave it back to us in like Shamu bucks, which we could have used elsewhere for anywhere. But what we did is we chose to use those $60 and put it straight back towards a new food festival pass. So they're not going to just give you a pass for a pass or anything like that. Like you have to go through to guest services, which honestly I would again recommend going at opening if you can,
Yeah.
because that line's going to get busy too.
But yeah, go to guest services and they'll exchange your pass. I mean, they'll refund it for Shamu bucks and then let you use Shamu bucks to buy a new pass. Is basically how it's going to work.
Like 9 a.m. Friday.
What's that?
Spencer says SeaWorld's
Oh,
open at 9.
SeaWorld's going to open at 9. Okay. Well, yeah. If it's opening at 9, get there at 8:45. That's just my recommendation.
And then Ben, this was one of our other complaints that we wrote to SeaWorld about, is they were not asking for California IDs, and there was somebody on one of the annual pass holder pages who was talking to someone in the parking lot who were from Florida, and they had come for vacation. So they were not checking IDs. There were probably, based on license plates, I mean, I know that's not a fail-safe because other people can move here and have an out-of-state license, but based on license plates coming even into the park, there were quite a few out-of-state license plates. So I'm hoping that they maybe start cracking down on that. We have heard from Disneyland, there have been multiple reports that have said that when they open, they are checking IDs, and if someone in your party doesn't have a California ID, then they are going to get sent home. So
Disneyland will definitely be checking IDs. SeaWorld has not as of yet. They really should be. You don't need an actual ID to get in, though. So like Diana said, I think it was Diana, said you lost your ID. All you would need is proof of residency. So well, a piece of mail isn't enough because anybody could have mail here, but like a phone bill or bank statement, anything like that would be sufficient. If you don't have your ID because you lost it, that's okay. Just, log onto your bank and print a statement real quick, that sort of thing.
You could probably even show, I mean, right now, I don't even think they're even checking. If they do start checking, I think you could even log in online, and if you can show an address on there.
But we do think that's probably where a lot of the problems are coming from, because someone in the annual pass holder page that we run said that their family was from Seattle and they got into the park no problem. They went Tuesday and Wednesday and they got in the park. So they're definitely not checking and they're not caring. Whether they will in the future, I don't know. But that's what's going on right now. Let's see some of these other comments that are going on through here.
The only roller coaster that's open right now is Electric Eel, and then the kiddie rides. When we went, all the kiddie rides were open. Like, I don't think any of them were closed. Manta should be opening soon. However, right now they're short-staffed, and they don't even have enough people to run that ride. Yeah. And then Emperor, they're waiting until a better date.
A quick interjection here that if you're watching right now, go ahead and hit the like button, if you will. One of the best ways that you can help out our videos and our channel and that sort of thing is by hitting that like button, because what it does is it tells YouTube that you like our videos. And so it'll show our videos to other people. And thanks you. I see our likes going up. I really appreciate that. Appreciate that very much. But when you're watching the regular videos as well, if you think about it, just go ahead and try to hit those likes. That it really does do wonders for just visibility and things like that. Also, we love chatting with you guys here in the live chat, which is why we've done a lot more of these live chats in the last couple of weeks, and it's been great interacting with you, answering your questions. We're always happy to help, and if you have questions, feel free to post those questions on our currently most recent video that we've posted as well. I respond to all of the comments as quickly as I can. Sometimes I see them within minutes of them being posted, but usually I'll get back with you within an hour or two, so feel free to drop comments, even if it's unrelated to the video that you're currently watching. If you got a question, just feel free to ask. Those comments also help YouTube recognize that people are interested in our videos. So yeah, thank you so much for that. Definitely appreciate it. As far as what Amy was saying with roller coasters, I think I mentioned it, but I'll mention it. I can't remember if I did or not, because my brain is, I have Dory brain. Does anyone else have Dory brain? But Manta was supposed to reopen, is supposed to reopen, will reopen very, very soon. Manta just needs ride operators, I believe. Some folks that we know that have relatives that work there said that the person who works there said the only reason why Manta isn't open is that they need ride operators. And Amy knows someone who just got hired on
as a ride technician.
As a ride operator.
No, technician.
Technician? Oh, what's the difference?
He like works on fixing them.
Oh, fixing them. I thought it was to operate them.
No, I think he's like an actual technician.
Well, then maybe Manta is broken too. I don't know. They haven't been test running it. They were test running the Sky Tower, not Sky Tower, the Bayside Sky Ride when we were there on Saturday. They were running the Bayside Sky Ride. No people were getting on it. They were just running it and things like that. Oh, something else that I saw on Saturday. They are updating and upgrading the amphitheater that's on the bay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the Cirque, whatever it is.
Yeah, Cirque du Soleil.
Cirque du Soleil. Not Cirque du Soleil. Cirque Electrique or something like that. That amphitheater that's over by Tidal Twister. I saw tons of workers in there, scaffolding and everything, and they're working on the set, the stage display. So that gives me hope that they're going to be reopening that show, which would be really exciting as well. Again, catching up on some of these comments. Bonita says, oh, and Diana says that you're subscribing. Thanks so much. We appreciate that. Definitely hit that subscribe button if you want to see more live videos from us and updates on just things that are going on. We're also, if you're brand new and you haven't heard us talk about it yet, we're going to Walt Disney World in Orlando in just 11 days time. So lots of Disney content will be coming your way as well. Even though it's on the East Coast, we'll be also going to Disneyland. We have Disneyland reservations for June the 4th, opening day of Avengers Campus. We will be there, hopefully at 1,000 subscribers by then. If we're at 1,000 subscribers, I can live stream via mobile, and that means that we will be live streaming everything going on there at the opening of Avengers Campus on June the 4th. I'll just basically have the live up the entire time we're there, and you can see everything that and how crowded it's going to be, as well as what things look like there in Avengers Campus on opening day. So yeah, look forward to that. And if we can hit 1,000 subscribers by June the 4th, we'll definitely be doing that. Bonita says, can you guys do videos on things to do with your kids in San Diego? Absolutely. There are different things that we are looking at doing just locally here in San Diego. We can definitely come up with kids things. I think we're going to go to Old Town San Diego this weekend. So that's something here locally in San Diego. We take our kids hiking a lot. So we went to Cabrillo National Monument. That video is on our channel already. We went to Santee Lakes, which is a local lake in East County. I haven't put that video on YouTube yet, but they've got some kids things there that you can do. They have a splash pad and different things that we mentioned in that video. That
we planned to go to Julian at some point, but we were kind of waiting for spring break to end, and so we'll probably go up during the summer at some point. Or wait till fall.
Julian's a good place to get an apple pie, of course. What are some other kid activity type places that aren't theme parks or well, yeah, going to the beach? We're not much of beach people.
So go to a beach, go to Coronado Beach, because it's the most calm and peaceful and quiet.
There probably won't be any beach videos on here, but are you going to the strawberry picking?
We want to. However, apparently my mom heard that this year has been insanely crowded, and we didn't go until June last year. And so we're even hoping there's any strawberries left by June, because I guess apparently they said this year, they said it's been packed, it's been crowded, you've had to wait in long lines to get in, it's been crazy. So we'll see about that. But last year we did the strawberry picking and we loved it. We joked with Benjamin because he loves strawberries, and he was literally probably putting one strawberry in the bucket, eating like 5 strawberries, putting a strawberry in the bucket, eating about 5 strawberries, which you're probably not supposed to do, but I mean he was 2, so
yeah. Goodman mentioned that there's a food truck and craft festival happening this Saturday at Bates Nut Farm up in Valley Center. Valley Center is kind of far for us to go. We don't generally travel that far away from home for us, but I do know that they're doing something similar down at the waterfront soon, aren't they? Don't they have an activity, some sort of special thing going on down?
One.
I don't know. I saw something.
I mean, I saw something about a taco festival, but that's not till October, I think.
Is it? Okay. Well, we'll look out for stuff like that here in San Diego and try to go to them. I do know that when the fair is at the Del Mar Fairgrounds, we're going to try to go this year. People said we've needed to go and we just haven't gone yet, but we're going to go this year. I know that they've got a Jurassic.
Like, that ended.
Did that end?
I think
Okay.
that ended.
I wanted to go. I thought about it going to this Jurassic drive-through adventure world thing. I don't know. It's not Jurassic Park related, but
I don't know. Our kids would have enjoyed it.
yeah.
I think Benjamin would have, but I think James, he's been so spoiled by riding dinosaur at Disney World that he would have been like, Dad, they're not moving. Like,
Yeah.
why aren't they moving?
I'm going to catch up with some of these other comments on here. Carl says, looking forward to our next trip to SeaWorld to see what the improvements are like. Yeah, it'll be a while. It'll be a while before we're at SeaWorld again. So this coming weekend, we're going to the zoo. The following weekend, we're going to be at Disney. The following weekend after that, we're still going to be at Disney. And then I think we might be able to go that weekend after that. Let me check if that's what I have on my schedule. Well, Disney World. The first weekend after that, we plan to go to Legoland. Maybe on the 15th, 16th of May. That's when we're probably going to go to Legoland. And then we might make it to SeaWorld again the following week. We could always push Legoland off a week. Who knows what we're going to do there with Legoland. We're going to see if they have passes back by then. But it'll be about a month before we're at SeaWorld again, for sure. We'll consider, we'll definitely consider heading up to that. I didn't even know about Bates Nut Farm. I've never heard of it. You've heard of it? Mm-hmm. Okay. We definitely know there's a lot of fun places to try, especially in like October. Oma's Pumpkin Patch, which is an East County thing, really, really close to us, about
it's fun for
10,
little
15
kids.
Minutes away.
Like older kids would be bored stiff.
Really fun for
young
little
kids, like probably preschool through, I don't know, like third grade-ish probably. They would have fun. It's just, I mean, it's essentially a playground type of thing. They have extra playground things set up, but you can go on this little tour to see the cows and
they give you a pumpkin, or only if you pay for it?
I think it's only if you go. I don't know. We've always gone with school, so like it was a school field trip. So I don't know how it works if you go just there, but I know you can. Like it is open to the public. Yeah. It's not just school tours. But that's really fun. I know there's like summer pass farms out here in East County. That's another little like garden area that you can go walk through. Some friends from church, their parents own an alpaca farm out here, and I think they do like have visitors.
PJ just asked if they're checking California licenses. No, that's something we've said a few times that we're hoping that they'll start doing because I think a lot of those people that don't have reservations that are getting into the park aren't California residents. And I don't want to see SeaWorld get shut down if somebody reports them for not doing that. And so they're not currently checking those IDs. That doesn't mean that I would recommend necessarily trying to get in.
Yeah.
But you probably could, that sort of thing. Another place to go if you are interested in rides where they're not checking IDs is Belmont Park. Belmont Park's a minor amusement park here in San Diego. It's got about 10 to 12 rides. And they're all carnival type rides. They do have a roller coaster, the Giant Dipper, a wooden roller coaster that's 100 years old.
It's so jerky.
Very, very jerky. But you pay for tickets for that. Like everything is ticketed. So it's like 7 tickets to ride this or 9 tickets to ride that. And you pay for the tickets. and there's no admission to get in. You can just walk in without having to buy the tickets. I've heard from people that if you try to buy tickets online, it won't let you. But if you go to the ticket booth, they're not checking IDs when you buy tickets at the ticket booth there at Belmont Park.
And just to be aware, Belmont Park has been
Yeah.
very busy too, because there was somebody on Facebook who said
Yeah.
like that was just
Yeah.
insanely crowded to get to as well.
Basically, anywhere with rides is going to be really, really
Yeah.
crowded. Hey, Mexicandom and Billy Bob Millie's friend. Good to see you guys. Thanks for joining the live chat. We're also members of a lot of Disneyland annual pass holder Facebook groups as well. And a lot of people are beginning to start theorizing on how Disneyland is going to work and that sort of thing. A lot of people are like, I'm going to rope drop for the very first time. I've never rope dropped ever. We always show up at like 10 and I want to rope drop now. So I think that openings may be a bit busier. At the same time, a lot of people are theorizing that with lower capacity and with the reservation system, and we know that Disney will be very good about the reservation system and about California residents and checking IDs and that sort of thing. Some people are just like, nope, I'm just going to do my normal thing. I'm going to show up as normal and I'll be able to get in no problem. There's some concerns about park hopping. They're not sure if you're going to be able to get into the other park, even though you paid for a hopper. And that's always a possibility.
It's hard to know with Disneyland because, I mean, they are so close to each other. It's possible they will reach capacity and not let you hop. I know for Disney World, they said this whole entire time they have not had any issues with park hopping and capacity. So I really don't know. But Disney World is so different in the sense that at a minimum it takes probably 20 to 30 minutes just to get from one part to the other between transportation, whether you take a bus, your car, the Skyline, or anything, monorail. It just takes a while. Whereas Disneyland, you can walk from one part to the other in 5 minutes. So I don't know how.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, that dynamic. But we have park hopper tickets for the day that we're going to Disneyland, and yeah, we'll see what happens. But we do expect Disney to be far better with checking the IDs than SeaWorld is. There was something else I felt like we wanted SeaWorld to try to improve on.
Parking.
No, I already mentioned the parking. I've already mentioned the employees not mentioning masks. I think it might have been we had a bad experience with food this past week because they ran out of food. And I don't know how you run out of food before dinner. Yeah. But they ran out of food before dinner. I'm not sure what they can do about that. Maybe just the tacos were extremely popular that day and they just ran out of taco stuff. I mean, they didn't run out of food. They still had food. Yeah. They just ran out of taco stuff. Thanks, Mexicandom, for the well wishes for our Disney trip. We hope that we have a great time too. I'm still not sure how videos are going to work that week. So we stayed, if you didn't see, we stayed open to close, at least I did, on Saturday at SeaWorld. First time that I've stayed open to close at SeaWorld in ages, maybe ever. Yeah, and I just didn't feel like putting together a video that night. So I put the video for Sunday together Sunday morning really, really early, and I got it up and everything. But if we're going open to close at parks every single day during our trip, I'm just not sure how quickly.
It'll depend on how busy it is.
Yeah.
Honestly, if it ends up being, wait times are like what we dealt with in September and not very, maybe moderately busy, but not very busy, then we may be back in the middle of the afternoon and can put something together then, and we'll go back in the evening. But if it ends up being a lot busier, I know like Magic Kingdom Day, we will probably be in that park from open to close because we only have the one day in that park.
One full day.
One full day. We have the day we leave, but we only have like 3 hours that morning.
I will say that I will post a video every day, even during our trip, but it may just be a ride video. It may, it's not going to be something super long. Probably just be really, really quick and short. Thanks so much, PJ, for the comment, letting us know how much you enjoy the content. definitely appreciate that. I just see that you asked about annual passes. They're not currently for sale. What happened to our annual pass is they got sunsetted, they got rid of them, and they turned into legacy passes. And all that is a fancy little title. Why don't you go get our magnet?
That's not a legacy pass.
It's not?
No, that's a 65-year anniversary magnet.
Oh, never mind. Okay, I thought we got a legacy pass holder
No.
magnet. They do have legacy pass holder magnets,
Yeah,
but they were
how
only.
did they get those? That's Taste of Disney.
Yes,
Oh,
you
that's
had
not
to go
fair.
to the Taste
Or
of Disney, Touch of Disney. You had to go to Touch of Disney to get that.
Taste of Touch of
I know.
things of.
Universal was Taste of Universal, so Disney couldn't be Taste of Disney.
And Dots was Taste of.
No, Boys and Berries. So they didn't want to be Taste of Disney, so they were a Touch of Disney. But yeah, they got rid of annual passes, and all they did was call us legacy pass holders and gave us a fancy new title.
And that's even only the people who had a valid pass as of March 15th, I think it was, of last year. I should know. I was on hold dealing with legacy pass holder stuff for 2 hours today on the phone.
And they couldn't even help you.
The only upside was that at least being on hold with Disney is you get to listen to Disney music the whole entire time.
So what are the ticket purchasing options right now? If you wanted to go purchase a ticket for Disneyland right this minute, you would hit purchase tickets, and it would bring up a screen where you could pick how many days you want, and you'd be able to purchase them right away. Congrats to you for waiting a couple of days to buy tickets. I waited in 12 hours in line to buy tickets. Now, I waited that long because I needed a ticket for a specific day, and that was June 4th, which is our anniversary day for one, and second is the day that Avengers Campus opens, and we wanted to go up there for that. So I needed a specific day, and so I had to wait. But if you aren't particularly caring which day you go, like the second time that we go, if annual passes aren't announced yet by summer, we are going in September for our youngest son's birthday. And it doesn't matter what day we go, whether it's the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, whatever in September, we'll go whatever day is open and available. So if you didn't care what day, you could go buy a ticket right now without waiting at all.
And honestly, like if you're only going for one day, so the 1 day tickets have a tier pricing, so that also depends on what day. So like for us, we ended up with tier 5, which is the highest because it's opening day of Avengers. So.
I should tell you, it's really, really confusing right now. So it used to be that if you wanted to buy a ticket, you would go on Disneyland's website, you'd pick the day you wanted to go, you'd purchase the ticket, and that was it. You were done. Now, because they still have all the tier pricing that they used to, but you have to pick the day that you want to go so that you know what tier to purchase and pay for. But then after that, you have to book the park reservation. So if you book say you want to go on a Friday, say June the 4th, for instance, and you book a 5-tier ticket for June the 4th, actually, this is a bad example. Let's say Wednesday, because people were telling me Wednesday. Say you wanted to go on June the 2nd for Wednesday. It's a tier 1 because it's the middle of the week. It's the least crowded. It's the cheapest ticket. You buy that ticket, but then you find out the day you want to go, June 2nd, isn't available. You can't just say, oh, I'm going to go June 3rd, because that Thursday may be a tier 3, and you purchased a tier 1 ticket. So that means you can only go on days that are tier 1 now, and that's only on Wednesdays. So now you have to go the following Wednesday.
Honestly, your best option
it's really confusing.
Is to get a hotel and buy a 2-day ticket, because the tier system is only for 1-day tickets.
Yeah.
So if you get 2 days, then you don't have to deal with any of the tier issues. So just make sure you have 2 days in a row of reservations available. But honestly, that's what other people were saying on one of the Facebook pages. Was they were saying just try to go 2 days instead of 1 if you can, because then you don't have to deal with all the tier pricing. Hopefully, come eventually, some of that will. Disappear.
It's just been really confusing, I know, but the website actually walks you through it pretty well. Just make sure you're checking that availability calendar before you book a ticket. That's all you really need to do to make sure that you can get into the park the day that you want to go, so that you're not purchasing a ticket for a different tier. If you have a tier 5 ticket, you can go any day. It doesn't matter. And that's what happened with us. We bought a tier 5 ticket because it was opening day for Avengers Campus. So if it happened to be completely booked when I tried to book it, I could use my ticket any other day because Tier 5 is open for everything. Drone Shot said going left and going right, or when everyone else is going right, is a good tactic that you do at SeaWorld. Yes, we do that all the time, actually. When we go to Walt Disney World or when we go to Disneyland, even, we always start off in Adventureland. I feel like everyone else goes to Fantasyland or Tomorrowland, and we always go left. And we do that at SeaWorld too sometimes. Now, with the rides being to the right, of course, everyone's going to the right. And I would actually recommend going to the right with everybody else right now because your best bet's to get those rides done early in the morning. It really is just the best advice I can offer for SeaWorld. Get all the rides done early in the morning because they do not lessen throughout the day. They just get worse and worse as more people get into the park. But generally speaking, yeah, if you go to the back of the park too, the back of the park is where there are fewer crowds.
Going left pretty much. I mean, works for everything,
Mhm.
anywhere. Unless you go overseas to Australia, and then that doesn't work. We discovered that. You go right because they're used to going left.
In Australia, just like they drive on the opposite side of the vehicle, they also walk on the opposite sidewalk. So instead of walking on the right, they walk on the
We
left.
made that mistake a lot.
That when you're in a shopping mall, people are walking on the left, and we were walking on the right for a while, and it's like, why are we going against the grain here? And it was just confusing. But they really do. Anybody that like where they drive on the other side of the road, any country like that's used to going left.
Go
But
right.
Carl asked, how many outings or trips do we ever keep on our calendar at a given time? I'm amazed at how many things that we've got planned.
It's not really planned weekend to weekend, except for the big trips.
Yeah, as far as big trips, we don't have too many planned. Honestly, we go to Walt Disney World once a year, and that's it. That trip's usually on the books for a while, and it's our most like we usually book that more than 6 months out, and it's always a pain knowing that you have 200 days to Walt Disney World. It's like, oh, it's so far away. That's the only one that we ever really put on the calendar. The only reason why we have Disneyland on June the 4th now is, well, since we're vlogging, we're going to try to get to some more media related things. So anytime Disneyland's going to be opening a new ride or a new land, we're gonna try to be there for those. We went to SeaWorld on opening day of rides because we wanted to show you guys what opening day of rides was like, and so we do kind of filter our calendar around that. Like the second that I find out that the Africa Tram is opening at SeaWorld, or not SeaWorld, at the San Diego Zoo Safari Park, we will be shifting our entire schedule to go to Safari Park because I want to ride that Safari Tram. I want to show you guys the Safari Tram.
We've shifted a few things, even due to weather too, because there was one weekend that we had planned to do the Bayside Trail up Cabrillo, and it was just going to be freezing, and so we ended up pushing that a week and doing the Safari Park instead. So, I mean, we usually have a tentative plan the weekend before, and then this all even also revolves around my work schedule because I typically work Saturdays. I've somehow been lucky that last weekend, this weekend, and the next 2 weekends, I am not working any weekends, so that's unusual. Usually I'm working at least either a Friday or a Saturday. Thankfully, Sundays, because I work at Chick-fil-A, we are always closed on Sundays, so that one's nice. But
yeah, as far as, I mean, we generally go into the theme parks and like the zoo and things like that just as something to do with the kids on the weekend. We are definitely going to branch out and do some other things, as folks had mentioned earlier. We're going to show different things you can do just in San Diego, and yeah, that's definitely part of the plan. We don't have those things like written in stone on our calendar. We'll do them when we do them, but as far as, I try to go to like the zoo or SeaWorld at least every weekend because that's where I get the most of the video footage that we get throughout the week. If all I did was go to, say, Old Town for a weekend, I'd get 1, maybe 2 videos at Old Town. And it wouldn't be enough for a full week. And I do try to keep a daily video going right now, as the daily videos really do help the upward trajectory of the channel and it picking up steam and that sort of thing. After we get a little bit bigger, we may be able to back off the frequency of the videos. We'll still try to do 3 to 4 videos a week. But it will be less important to have those daily videos for that upward growth, and we'll be able to spend some more time. I feel like sometimes these videos, like when I go to SeaWorld and I shoot 5 videos in a single day, that sometimes I'm stretched a little thin with what we're doing. I hope it doesn't feel that way for you guys. It sometimes feels that way for me, like trying to think of all the different things to video. Yeah, what have I already videoed, and what can I video this time, and how can I make this interesting from the things that we've done and previously on the channel. But we just try to show you stuff that I think you'll find helpful, and hopefully you guys like the videos. A few people have asked if we're going to Knott's Berry Farm. We did go for the Taste and Boysenberry Festival. If you haven't seen those videos, we have two videos up on the channel already. One where we were just walking around the park and exploring because I'd never been before, and so I was like,
And
"Oh, look at that!"
Since I was 14.
I was like, "Oh wow, what's that roller coaster? Oh, that's neat. They've got a waterfall here," and we were like really just enjoying Knott's Berry Farm. But then the other video is actually all on the food that we had while there at the Taste of Boysenberry. And that was a great festival. I think it's still going on.
I think this weekend might be the last.
May 2nd, I believe, is when it ends.
So 2 more weekends.
Just like the Seven Seas Food Festival. So you could probably still go if they have availability, and I'd highly recommend it. One of the best food festivals we've been to.
It was fun, and like it wasn't busy. It was relaxing. It was kind of hot, but besides that, as far as actually going when the theme park's open, we probably won't go there till next summer. Not because we don't want to go, but because we have a 6-year-old who is 47 inches tall, and the majority of the rides there are 48 and above, and he is our little daredevil who's not afraid of anything. Like, his favorite ride at Disneyland is Guardians of the Galaxy, and like he rode it the first time.
That's Tower of Terror, if you haven't been there in a while.
And he went there on it the first time when he was 4, and he was like, "We go up and down, like it was nothing." And I'm just like, "You have fun. Daddy's got a ride buddy now."
And he was able to ride Expedition Everest for the very first time on their last Walt Disney World trip. And I mean, that's a huge coaster, and he loved it. Absolutely loved it.
So because of that, we know if we took him right now and he was stuck with the only rides besides Camp Snoopy were the log flume and maybe like the train, he would be very, very, very disappointed. So our plan is to probably wait until next summer. And hopefully at that point with COVID, like we can even go with, we're hoping at that point my parents will be comfortable enough to go and we can make a big family trip out of it.
I will vision cast with you a little bit for those of you who are, have been with us for a while and plan to hang out with us on this theme park adventure. Just vision casting where this could go if things really pick up. We've seen a lot of vloggers that have gone from where we are just 2 months ago is when we started our channel. We had like 20 subscribers and now up to almost 650 in 2 months time. And then there's another channel that we've been following a lot, Steve and Kai. If you followed Steve and Kai at all, they're at about 8,500 subscribers, and they started 8 months ago. Ordinary Adventures with Peter and Kitra. We follow those guys, and they've only been doing this for close to 2 years, and they're at 150,000 subscribers. And basically what that translates for you guys, just so you know, YouTube pays YouTubers and vloggers based on views, not subscribers. But of course, the more subscribers you have, generally the more views that you're going to experience. And if we can get to the point where I'm making at least half of what I am at my day job doing YouTube videos, I'll probably just make the switch to trying to make this a full-time thing. And then we can spend a lot more time at theme parks where like I would actually go explore some of these other places that you want me to go. Not just theme parks, but locally as well. And I can go check out those places. If you're familiar with some of the bigger vloggers, both out east and out west, they spend a lot more time. Like, I'm amazed at some of the West Coast vloggers here who Disney will announce something, and at the drop of the hat, they're on a live stream, chatting about the latest news. And it's like 1 PM. I'm at work. I don't have the ability to do that. And I feel bad sometimes. It's like, I want to let you guys know. And in fact, Carl, if you're still here, Carl knows that this is the case because I've told him. But there was an announcement about Disney a few weeks ago. We had never done a live stream like this before. I was going to wait to do live streams when we could do them on mobile rather than on the computer. And Disney made an announcement about something, or SeaWorld made an announcement about something. I think it was Disney. It must have been Disney, because SeaWorld, nobody seems to ever talk about their announcements. I don't know why. I'm the only person that talks about SeaWorld. I'm the only person that talks about SeaWorld. So that's probably why a lot of you are interested to hear what we have to say about SeaWorld. But Disney made an announcement, and I wasn't going to say anything because 15 other vloggers all jumped on within 5 minutes of Disney making the announcement, and we're talking about it for 2 hours. I was like, no one wants to hear what I have to say about something all the other vloggers are talking about. And here's Carl, leaves a comment on my video and says, what do you think about this? I want to hear what you have to think. And it floored me. It really did, that you guys are interested to hear what we have to say. And that's so exciting. That you guys can be a part of this YouTube journey for us, and that you guys are invested in our videos as we are. So it's super awesome. And we really love that we can, go on this journey with you all. I keep saying the word journey over and over again.
But our goal is to get it to the point where, you don't have a regular daytime job, because it does limit when, by the evenings, especially because I work some of the evenings. By the time he gets home, then I'm working some of the nights, and it really only does leave the weekends for the most part.
Let's see here. PJ says there's tons of locations around San Diego that are super interesting. Definitely. Something that I need to watch a little bit more often is Jaycation. I have not watched a whole lot of Jaycation videos, but Jaycation does that San Diego area stuff and checks out the other stuff that's local here, not just theme parks.
There's lots of stuff.
There's so much stuff. I know that's something that we want to do. Once there's still, the museums are open. We just need to go to some of them.
Some are still reopening.
Someone earlier today commented on one of our videos, said we should take our kids to the Fleet Science Center, and I totally agree. We've done that in the past, and we love it. And we're going to take them to the Fleet Science Center. I want to go to the Air and Space Museum, that sort of thing. Definitely lots of stuff that we'd love to do. High on our bucket list of things to check out. Yeah, that's the other thing we've noticed. Goodman said there's not a lot of zoo and safari park channels either. In fact, that's why I feel like our YouTube channel got started. So if you didn't know this, all I've been doing is posting videos to YouTube because we wanted to memorialize our trips and things. We went to Walt Disney World, and I was running out of space on my hard drive, so I started putting my videos on YouTube. I went to Disneyland, same thing. They were, because I was using my gimbal and my phone was taking a lot higher quality videos than the little handy cam I used to use. They were taking up so much space that I just started uploading those videos to YouTube. And it happened to be that I uploaded a video of the San Diego Zoo, and it was the first weekend the San Diego Zoo was open, and that video just kind of blew up. Like, there were lots of people wanting to see that video, and before I knew it, it had 2,000 or 3,000 views. And while that may not sound like a lot to some people that get millions of views, like Dude Perfect, they post a video and get 2 million views in the first hour. But like, when all my previous videos that I'd posted, like my Walt Disney World trip, okay, we love Walt Disney World vlogs. We watch them all the time. I Google vlogs and I watch people's trips at Walt Disney World. Not vloggers, just people posting their trips. I love to do that. And I've seen several of them with a few thousand views. So I thought that's what was going to happen to our Walt Disney World trip. When I posted my Walt Disney World trip and I get like 10 views, and even to today, our first day of our Walt Disney World vlog only has 150 views on it. And that's after 6 months of it being posted. And so I didn't really have super high expectations for YouTube when we first started, but I posted that San Diego Zoo video, and because nobody else is posting San Diego Zoo videos, lots of people were interested in it. And I said, well, hey, this is exciting. I'll go do one for the safari park. So the following weekend, we went and we took a video of the safari park. And that video took off even more than the zoo. So the following week, we went to SeaWorld and did the same thing. And after that third video, and all three videos literally just started trending for people who were looking for those videos. We said, hey, maybe we can actually make this a YouTube channel and do what all our favorite vloggers are doing. And so that was at the point after 3 weeks of us getting serious about our YouTube channel, we started posting daily videos, and you all seem to really enjoy those. And once again, just thank you guys so much. If you're little aside, if you're watching and you didn't hear me say it before, go ahead and hit that little thumbs up like button. It really does help YouTube let YouTube know that people are liking our videos, liking our channel. If you're watching and you're not yet a subscriber and you want to see more of our content, hit the subscribe button as well. But yeah, the zoo, San Diego Zoo, Safari Park, and SeaWorld definitely are our main niche. Legoland, because it's a San Diego theme park, I feel like it won't get as much love as a lot of the Anaheim theme parks, and so we plan to put Legoland in the rotation once we can get a pass. And once Aquatica opens, I think I'm going to upgrade our SeaWorld pass for like an extra $20 so that we can go. I think that's all it costs, something like that.
That's way more than that.
No, because I think once you're the gold pass, like you can go. I know, but we're silver, so I think the upgrade from silver to gold is only $20 or $30. We'll have to see. But if we can go to Aquatica as well, we'll show you Legoland, Legoland's aquarium, Legoland's water park, and SeaWorld's water park, and yeah, so we'll all the San Diego stuff for sure. Virginia asks if hopefully Virginia's still watching. Sorry, I haven't got to your comment yet. After the food festival ends at SeaWorld, are we familiar with how the meal plan will work? We went 2 years ago and they had the hour meal with bracelet.
We have no idea. I honestly see them still doing these little a la carte type food items, because even before the food festival started, they had been doing those. So they had like seasonal offerings during Halloween last year for, I think it was like 2 months. So they had little a la carte options, and then they changed to their Christmas celebration and they had a different set of a la carte options, and then food festival started and they had a third set of options.
Basically, ever since the SeaWorld has reopened after COVID, everything's been a la carte. They didn't bring back meals where you get the hamburger and the fries. Now you either get the hamburger or the fries, and you can pay for both, of course, but you got to pay a la carte for both of them. So the current thing that they're doing is a dine and drink add-on where you get 6 punches, similar to the Seven Seas Food Festival, and you can use those for any a la carte items. It's $30. I should just mention this thing.
Stop fidgeting.
I'm going to mention this thing. I said I was going to bring it up. Last week in the live chat, we were talking about the most expensive souvenir at SeaWorld, and I told you that this is the most expensive souvenir that I've ever bought at Disneyland. Disney World. This is $75. It is, of course, an R2-D2. Where's the front? There it is. So it's an R2-D2 bowl, and this thing is stainless steel. It doesn't really ring because I'm holding it. There's a little bit of a clapping.
The cats.
The cats are interested, but this is a bowl, of course. And I use it for popcorn. You could use it for whatever, chips or that sort of thing. $75 for this bowl. Very, very pricey. But I knew I had to, because I'm a huge Star Wars fan. I absolutely love this R2D. I can stick it on my head. No. just to show you its size, though. But this is a really, really, really heavy bowl. Awesome.
Like we only hand wash it. We only stick popcorn in it.
But let's check out some of these other comments. PJ says the fleet is cool, and that is great too. Definitely, yeah, like I said, that was from when we were talking about those. Did you know the plants at San Diego Zoo are insured for way more money than all the animals combined? I would believe it because a lot of those plants are crazy unique, for sure.
You should let your mom go. Well, there's little signs. I was about to say, both our parents have these apps on their phone where they can go like scan a picture of any plant and it'll tell you what it is. So I feel like they should be like going and geeking out with plants. I don't know what the term would be, but I cannot keep plants alive to save my life. So I want to go get a tomato plant and a strawberry plant once we get back from our trip, and we'll see if it even lasts through the summer.
Muncher asks, what's our favorite show at SeaWorld San Diego?
Sea lions.
I would say so. If I had a close,
and go early.
If I had a close second, it's probably Dolphin Days.
Yeah.
The sea lions is just funny though. You have to get the right Biff.
Yeah.
If the Biff actor changes from time to time, I feel like the first ever Biff that I saw was my favorite Biff, and none of the other Biffs have come close to. But Biff, if you're not familiar with SeaWorld or the Sea Lions live show, Biff is the pre-show talent. He comes out and he is the stage crew and he's cleaning everything. And he accidentally turns on the music while he's there, and he starts dancing to the music. And there are all sorts of funny things, like when the Oompa Loompa song comes on, he puts a wig on and looks like an Oompa Loompa, and it's really, really funny. Absolutely love Biff, and the whole Sea Lions live show is great, and it's entertaining. Dolphin Days is great for a show. Like the dolphins and the things that they do are just amazing.
They still allow the dolphins to do fun things.
Yeah.
Because the orca show used to honestly be really, really fun. And then with the whole...
Well, we're not going to get into it.
Yeah, we won't get into everything. But it's now just more educational rather than fun.
Basically, since the 2016 incident, the trainers aren't allowed to be within 18 inches of the orcas anymore. Now, that's kind of weird because we did see them massaging the orca.
But maybe it's in the water.
But, yeah, that sort of thing. It's we just saw Orca Encounter, and I wasn't that impressed, to be honest with you. But it's still better than R is for Rescue. We watched R is for Rescue the week before, and even without the Sesame Street overlay, it was the exact same show as the Santa Presents Christmas Animals from Around the World. Same show, same animals, same thing. It just wasn't all that exciting to me. I hear, though, that maybe this was just when it used to be Rescue Tales, which was like a month ago. You used to be able to pay, and you could go down and see the animals afterwards. Like, maybe that would be a cooler experience to go and, see the animals up close afterwards. Maybe that would be a little bit more worth it, but...
Tell PJ, I just asked my mom, the plant app is called Picture This. So,
yeah.
And I guess apparently you just go around and scan plants and figure out what they are.
Thanks so much, Benjamin, for letting us know you've enjoyed our videos. If you could, and you'd be interested in helping out the channel, if you could give us a like, a thumbs up on the video here, and then also hit that subscribe button. That'll really, really help us out. Lets YouTube know that you love our videos and that you found them helpful so that other people will be able to find them too. Definitely appreciate you, and if you see us in the parks, I say this all the time, if you see us in the parks, please do let us know, stop us, say hi, that sort of thing. We had a guy come up to us on Saturday after the Orca show. He saw us at the Orca show, and then as we were leaving, he came up and he caught up to us and he said, hey, do you vlog? And I said, yeah, I do. And he said, I can't remember the exact words he said, but he said something along the lines of, your video is the reason why I'm here today. We watched your video and it was super helpful, and it helped me have the confidence to be able to come back to SeaWorld knowing, what was open and that sort of thing. And so we really appreciated that. And that's why we're doing this. We're doing this to help you guys. When we were getting, and I just talked about, how this channel really came about. but those first 3 videos that we posted of the zoo, the safari park, and SeaWorld, what really led to us trying to post more is that we were getting lots of comments asking questions. What's this like? What's that like? How'd this work? And I just loved answering those questions. If we can be of help, I absolutely love to. A couple of people have asked us questions that I didn't know the answer to, and I've gone into the parks the following day or the following time that we were there, asking those questions of the workers. So I'm always happy to do that. If I don't have a question or an answer for you, always happy to find out. Just let us know, and we'll do our best to get you an answer for sure. PJ mentioned that the Orca show was definitely educational. My kids actually really enjoyed it. I was actually surprised how much Benjamin was like super engaged.
Like, yeah,
he was really into it. So it's not like it was less exciting, if you will, but we just like the dolphins and the sea lions better.
Benjamin was also in a happy mood that day, though.
He was in a happy mood.
We say that because if you watch some of our videos, especially if you go, I don't know, our old like our most not our most recent, but the trip we took Benjamin, are those videos on our channel? No. Oh, never mind. Because we went back and watched some of our old Disney videos, and we were laughing because like every video you could hear fussing and crying in the background. It's like, oh, that's our kid.
I've been videoing our Walt Disney World trips since 2017. The first ones I posted on YouTube were 2020. But we went on our honeymoon to Walt Disney World. We're total Walt Disney World people, if you haven't figured that out already. We went to our honeymoon on Walt Disney World. We have pictures from that trip, but not a lot. And then on one of the trips, I can't remember which one it was, maybe like 2014, I took maybe 3 or 4 videos on my phone. I think I finally had an iPhone by then. I took 3 or 4 videos, and when we were looking through our photos from previous trips, those videos were my favorite part of looking through our old photos. So in 2017, that was the next trip that we took after 2014. I bought a video camera for that trip, and I've been videoing our trips ever since. I haven't posted them all on YouTube, and many of them will never see the light of day because I was so unexciting back in 2017. I didn't even look thrilled to be there. Hilarious. It's like, we're at Walt Disney World, and I didn't even have a smile in the video. I'm just like, it's Wednesday and we're here, and I'm like, come on, I'm at Walt Disney World, put a smile on. Carl says, I have 8 people there in Seattle utilizing our detailed knowledge of the park. So happy to be able to help out, Carl. When you know the park's at a level that would suit children. Yes. That's another reason why we're so interested in trying to make this channel, be a lot bigger, and grow into something that can be more useful to many, many people, is that we don't know really any vloggers with children. Now, a lot of the vloggers that were single vloggers or couple vloggers are starting to have kids, like Tim Tracker. If you follow the Tim Tracker at all, probably the largest theme park vlogger that exists. 850,000 subscribers he has. Of course, he's dedicated in the East Coast only. But after years of trying to have a child, they finally were able to have one. And now the focus of their channel has shifted a little bit to where they're able to show those kid themed things. But a lot of the vloggers, even the ones out here, Steve and Kai, like, they just got engaged. Peter and Kitra, they probably have kids. Maybe they have kids, but they're probably older. They don't ever talk about them or have them in their videos, or if they do talk about them, I just haven't watched enough of their videos, so maybe they do. I've only watched like 4 or 5 of their videos, but we keep an eye on the topics that they're posting and that sort of thing. But I've never seen kids in their videos. The Jed Experience, he's about 1,000 subscribers, just came across him. He does have kids in his. So he's a good one if you're looking for, I think his kids are a little bit older than ours. And I don't know if Jed is probably not watching the live stream, but Jed's been commenting on a lot of my videos lately. So if you happen to watch this, just a shout out to you there. But yeah, I feel like a lot of especially in Orlando, a lot of the ones that we watch anyway don't have kids. A lot of them are even single. Like Oiby, I mean, I think he's engaged or has a girlfriend or something. Then there's Nate with Paging Mr. Morrow, and he's on his own, but he hangs out a lot with Jackie from Super Enthused. And so a lot of these vloggers, they don't have kids. And so Carl brings up the point, yeah, that we want to talk about what you can do with children and what it's like to go to theme parks with children. And of course, take snacks. Yeah. And what you can do, like this came up on our annual pass holder page recently. Can you bring outside food into the park? The official policy is no, but there are some wiggle room with that. So we always, even to Disneyland, take a lunchbox with bread, peanut butter,
and what we do is
applesauce.
I mean, our oldest now is kind of getting used to the whole soggy peanut butter and jelly sandwiches because I have to pack him one for school every day, and he doesn't eat it till a few hours later. But most of the time, we have this little tiny jar of peanut butter that we actually got in Disney World because we forgot to buy peanut butter, and we just refill it. But we take a little either container or Ziploc bag of 4 slices of bread. So enough for 2 sandwiches. If we're going up to Disneyland, we usually take more because we usually try to do lunch and dinner. And then we usually take a couple snack type bars, raisins. Sometimes for lunch, we'll take fruit because it doesn't last till dinner, but it'll last till lunch. And we just kind of assemble peanut butter sandwiches for them.
I will say that the dynamic of meal times has changed significantly since my mother moved here. My mother moved here in May of last year, and as far as our videos goes, she's always there. So you guys haven't seen what our experience was like before her. And Amy just described the experience before her. But with her, Grandma always has snacks. So we don't really ever bother taking snacks anymore because Grandma has plenty. So,
and the kids prefer Grandma snacks. Yeah. I can say the exact same thing. Like, I can literally have the exact same thing in my bag as Grandma. And they'll want Grandma snacks because for some reason, Pop-Tarts or, grapes from Grandma's bag must taste better than
Grandma's snacks are better.
Mommy snacks.
The other thing is my mother doesn't eat the entire meal, so she buys a meal and splits with James. So James has actually started eating theme park food since Grandma has moved here, because before that he always just got a sandwich because we weren't going to pay for an extra meal for him. And Amy and I, if you've watched, we always split to save money. We'll cut the hamburger in half or whatever, and that sort of thing. And so James just never got theme park food before, but now he's splitting with Grandma. He's able to eat that. So the sandwich is really only for Benjamin now. And eventually the kids are going to need more than the peanut butter and jelly sandwich and what they're getting. And we'll have to get them a full meal to split between them. That sort of thing. But that's just how things will adapt as kids get older, and that's sort of how that goes. As far as the stroller goes, I will tell you this. We love having a stroller with us at theme parks. Sometimes they're a pain when you're at Disney. You have to park the stroller, and in the time it takes you to park the stroller and get the kid out of the stroller, like 50 people have entered the line before you, and it drives me nuts. I'm standing there like, oh, come on. People are entering the line, and I feel like,
you have a permanent cup holder, a permanent water bottle holder, a permanent umbrella holder,
coat holder,
souvenir holder. Like, I was even telling Trevor, because Disneyland has not restarted package pickup or package delivery to rooms. Walt Disney World. So I'm like, great. So if we buy a souvenir, we either have to go get a locker to go stick it in, like if we do find something at the beginning of the day that we love, or we're gonna have to lug that thing around now in our backpack all day.
Or you try to remember to go back. Or we try
to remember to go back at the end of the day. But the problem is if it's on clear the other side of the park, then so that's one thing where having a stroller is very nice. And if you need stroller recommendations, you can always not Facebook, but like message us, because we have gone through
3 or 4
different types of strollers at this point, and there's different benefits and pros and cons to all of them.
Yeah. The other thing with strollers is even if we don't think our kids will need them, we take them into the park anyway. And even if it's just being used to carry those things, it's wonderful to have. But a lot of the times, one kid or another will get tired and will want to go in the stroller. But a lot of the times, it's our oldest. Because our youngest, even though he's smaller and has littler legs and should get tired more often, he hates the stroller, and he's the one that wants to walk. He wants to walk all the time, and so he pretty much does. And Amy's pushing an empty stroller around half the time. But yeah, strollers for the meltdown. Most kids have. Eventually, he will have a bit of a meltdown sometimes. I generally will edit out the super meltdowns in the video, but occasionally they're just too funny not to edit out, so I put them in. But it's interesting. Like I think I even mentioned it in the most recent video. Benjamin just plopped down in the middle of the sidewalk before Amy even made it into the park the other day, and he refused to get up. I had to pick him up and plop him in the stroller, and it's just you got to do what you got to do.
But then by 4 o'clock that afternoon, we told him, no, you need to have a nap. And he actually willingly climbed in, even pulled the shade cover over his head and
took a nap in the stroller. So it was good.
Only if we were moving them. So I walked around Calypso Smokehouse about, at least 10 times while he was ordering food.
Yep. And while they were having a snack, I pushed him around the dolphin area and that sort of thing a couple of times. So you got to do what you got to do. Carl also mentioned that, you can rent one if you can't bring it. So those of you who are, coming from places like Seattle, maybe bringing a stroller isn't the most feasible thing to do.
I honestly still recommend bringing your own if you can. The only time that, at least even for Disney, I would recommend people not renting one is renting one off-site, because they're more comfortable strollers, because the ones in the parks, and I think even for SeaWorld, are the big plastic ones. Your kid will not nap on a big piece of plastic.
Yeah, they don't look very comfortable.
They're not comfortable. The other thing is for Disney World, and this is the thing I almost want to ask people why they bother, is even to rent one for a whole entire week off-site, not even from Disney, but from, I think Kingdom Strollers is the most popular place. It's about $80 to $100. Well, our stroller that we have, that is normally, I think, a $250 stroller, we bought on Facebook Marketplace for $100. So it's the type of thing where you almost need to just price things out, and it may just be cheaper to buy a used stroller on Facebook or Craigslist to take with you than rent one even for a week.
You're saying if the kids are kind of too old for strollers at home, so you don't have a stroller anymore, but they're not old enough to walk the parks, because Walt Disney World is huge.
Even our 6-year-old fell asleep a couple times in it.
That might be a good thing to check out. Benjamin said that they went on Saturday and had a lot of trouble getting food. Yeah, I think that was this Saturday, to be honest with you. We've gone to the food festivals and had a ton easier time than this past Saturday. Now, I didn't try to get any food at the festivals, but
we got a lamb slider.
I did. I did get a lamb slider. There wasn't any for that one for some reason. But all the food places, the main food places, I was at Shipwreck Reef at opening, and I had maybe 15, 20 people in front of me, and it took a little while. It took about 15 minutes to get through that line, even with just that few people in front of me. I went through Mama Stella's. Luckily, they were running both sides of Mama Stella's this past week.
Calypso was running both sides too.
And I was able to hop over to the other side of Mama Stella's, and it didn't take very long. But if I'd have had to wait in the other side, it was really, really long line. And then Calypso, the line was completely backed up on both sides. Even at 4:40, it was an early dinner. And it took about 20 to 30 minutes to get through the Calypso line. And they were running out of food. So I think that was just a this weekend problem. But I would definitely recommend, if you're going for the food festival booths, do those right at 12. 12 to 1, get as many of those food items out of the way as possible. Would be a great recommendation for that. But yeah, it's after 10 o'clock now. My battery on the computer isn't going to last much longer. I could, of course, go back upstairs and get the cord. If you weren't with us earlier on in the live stream, we had a lot of Wi-Fi issues. Bad connectivity, so we transported from upstairs to downstairs. Restarted our internet, but I didn't bring my laptop charger with me, and we've been going at this for a little over 2 hours now combined. Anyway, so I think we're gonna head out. But if you have any last minute questions or things, we'll definitely take them or anything like that before we head out and sign out here. But it's been fun. Once again, if this is your first time checking out our live stream, we do anticipate doing live streams every week, at least once. It's fun. We enjoy doing it. We have a blast, and hope you guys do too. And once we get the mobile, so again, we've mentioned this a few times. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we can do live streams via mobile. Then we'll be able to do live streams from the parks, and that'll be fun. That'll add a whole different dynamic to it. Being able to do those. We'll still do the sit down session like this because, of course, we're not going to
be answering 2 hours of questions.
Yeah, I'm not going to answer 2 hours of questions standing in a park, but we'll live stream for 20, 30 minutes with you guys in the park once that mobile becomes available and we hit 1,000 subscribers. Right now, we can do this laptop, and we were hoping to hit 1,000 before Walt Disney World. We're 11 days away, and that's just not going to happen at this point. We'll be over 700, hopefully, but what I'm going to do is take my laptop down to the Centertown and Caribbean Beach Resort, hopefully get some Wi-Fi and sit down with you some afternoon. Maybe afternoon might not be great because that'll be 3 hours back, and most of our viewers are West Coasters, I'm sure. So if we're like 2, that means you're going to be live streaming at like 11 a.m. for you guys.
It's like I don't want to go down there at 11 p.m. either for it to be.
Yeah, well, we won't go down at 11 p.m. It'll be a little earlier for you guys. It'll be like around 5 or 6, I'm sure. But we'll try to go down there after the parks close, hang out down in Centertown, live stream with you guys, so you can see a little bit of our resort and hang out with us even while we're at Walt Disney World. But we'll be doing this weekly, so check back, come hang out with us, and we'll see you next time. Thanks everyone.